After splitting the first two games of the NLCS, we are headed to Coors Field for games 3 and 4 in today's episode. One thing to note before we hop into the games is that I have made a change here to the pitching rotation. I took Herb Reyes out of the long relief role. The game chose him every single time that there was a long reliever needed, and so we weren't seeing the other two guys there. One of the guys that was there, Andrew Moore, I was not sad that we weren't seeing, but Phil Gorzelski, I want him to get time, so he's going to be the only one in the role. So if, say, our pitcher only lasts 5 innings and the game likes to go to a long reliever for the 6th, Phil Gorzelski will be the only one there. And then Herb Reyes all the way down to the second setup role. I'm hoping that just means that the game won't use him. Not that he's been atrocious. You know, his last performance in game 2 was actually pretty good, but for the most part, he has struggled here. So I want to give some more players a shot. And so once Gorzelski gets some play here, we'll probably rotate Blanco here. So that the next time we need a long reliever, it'll be Blanco. And we'll just keep only one long reliever and just make it whoever I feel like I want to see the most in the bullpen. That's going to be kind of my strategy for it for now. I'm starting to think that eventually it'll just get to a point where I have to manually manage the bullpen. I'm hoping that I don't have to. One of the things I like about CPU versus CPU is I can just kick back and watch these games as if I'm a fan of the team. And so having to go in and micromanage the bullpen throughout the game would take away from that a little bit. I am willing to do it if push comes to shove, but I haven't run out of ideas of how to simulate it quite yet. So this is the next iteration of kind of what we're going to try here in the bullpen. Hopefully we can see some Phil Gorzelski or some Jimmy Blanco, or if we're lucky, maybe even both here in this episode. But nothing really else to say prior to these games. Excited to be back in front of our home fans here. Could be some high scoring action. Let's get into these games. And with that, we're ready to get into game number 3. Happy to be in front of the hometown fans once again. Did what we wanted to last episode, split the 2-game road set, and now you see the white towels waving, all the purple in the stands, the Rockies faithful here to see if we can take the series lead here in game 3. So far been a very competitive matchup between these two teams. I think it's fair to say the Braves have the more talented roster. We have had some serious standouts so far in the postseason, hitting above their ratings that have really raised the ceiling of this team. I didn't think we'd be able to compete with the Braves, if I'm being honest. But last episode, we were right with them. Both teams have scored 10 runs so far through 2 games. About as close as you can get as we head into game 3. Jose Barreto will pitch for the Rockies here in this one. Let's start things off with a routine ground out, but no. Sterling Thompson absolutely airmails this easy throw. He's one of the better defenders we have on the team, and we can't start the game out like that. A free runner in scoring position for Atlanta to start this game, putting Jose Barreto in a bit of a tough spot. Got what should have been an easy out. Now he's trying to avoid letting the runner in scoring position cross, and he gets Acuna down with a curveball. 4 strike 3. Ozzy Albies up next. Does he go around? Yes, he does. Back-to-back strikeouts. And Sterling Thompson gets bailed out of the error. No runs across the board for Atlanta. Very well pitched inning. Had to get 4 outs. in a row, and he did it. Good start for Barreto. We'll be going up against Brady Singer for the Braves. He is 2-0 in his 2 starts, has pitched 14 innings, and has looked really good so far. Hopefully we can end that bit of a hot streak in the postseason for Brady. Kyle Brown hitting .273 in the postseason, and he gets things started in a big way. Out to left field, he crushed that ball, and the Rockies are aboard on the first pitch of the game. Blasted it 472 feet. It is good to be home again. A fan confident that the Rockies are #1, and we're certainly playing up to that status so far in the NLCS. Love to start the game off with a homer. No real better way to start. And on the very next pitch, Clemente Herrera gets a good piece of this one. This will get all the way back to the wall, and an extra base hit for Herrera. 2 pitches in, and the Rockies offense looks like it has come to play here in Game 3. Murillo, pitch below the zone, gets through the infield. Acuna with a throw home, and we wisely hold up at third there. We've tested Acuna's arm here in this series already, and it has not gone well when we have Dorsey! A 3-run home run here. Puts the Rockies on top 4-0 already. Neil Diamond Dorsey, the rookie, the MVP, coming through in a big way so far here in this NLCS. Increases his postseason home run lead over his teammates to now 4 in this postseason run. Nearly went foul there, but he knew it from the second it went off his bat that one was going to stay fair. Zach Veen makes it 5 straight Rockies runners reaching. Thompson behind 0-2 here. And the Braves will finally get their first out of the ballgame. An infield fly here to Royce Lewis. 1 down, 1 on for Salas. Cracks this one deep to right field. Acuna in pursuit. He's not going to get there. Off against the wall. The throw from Acuna on target, but it's an RBI double for Ethan Salas. Now 6 of 7 Rockies reaching, and Brady Singer is already done. I mean, this guy was pitching really well in his first 2 starts. Could not even get a second out in this game. Just a third of an inning pitched for Brady Singer when it's all said and done. Ryan Doe could not check his swing there, and then vanishes into thin air. What was that? Why is bro playing baseball? He should go join the Avengers. I mean, that's a pretty impressive skill he's got there. Omar Figueroa will end the inning for the Rockies, but the entire order gets a chance in the first inning. The Rockies turn 5 hits into 5 runs, and already a pretty big cushion for Jose Barreto, who gets his 3rd strikeout of the game here. Now a full count pitch for Royce Lewis, and he goes down swinging. 4 strikeouts in 2 innings. No hits allowed for Jose Barreto. He's feeling it a bit to start this game, as is this offense. We've seen nothing but close games so far in the postseason. Could we finally see the Rockies put together a complete game? Kyle Brown got things started in the first. Has another big-time hit here. It is off the top of the wall. Nearly the 2nd home run of the game for Kyle Brown already. A couple feet higher, and he's trotting those base paths. Clemente deep to right field. He's got his 2nd straight extra base hit, and This time he picks up an RBI alongside it. Rockies offense picking up right where it left off in the first inning. Doing some heavy damage here. Neil Dorsey, after Murillo was retired, gets a hit down in center field. Hands in front of Michael Harris, and it's 7 Colorado runs already. Neil Dorsey already 4 RBIs in the game in his first 2 plate appearances. Zach Veen up next. Hitting .240 in the postseason so far, but grounds into the double play here. Been a bit of a problem here in the postseason. I feel like our Rockies are grounding into a lot more double plays than our opponents are. But when you've got 7 runs in 8 innings through 7 runs and 8 hits through 2 innings is what I was trying to say. You're really nitpicking at that point. Sean Murphy, he's swinging at a curveball outside the zone. 5 Ks for Barreto. We'll count to Alvarez, and he gets a free base. For being by far the worst Braves offensive player they have in their lineup, he's having himself a pretty decent series here. Michael Harris follows that up with a hit. Braves trying to test that Brian Doe arm in center field, and it's a wise decision. We don't have nearly the caliber of arm in center field that these Braves do in Michael Harris. Brennan Marsh, 1-0 pitch. Deep to center field, Brian Doe in pursuit. He gloves it, but that's an easy tag for the first run on the board for the Braves. Barreto with an incredible start, but starting to crack here in the third. And speaking of cracking, that was cracked off the bat of Ronald Acuna. And it's a 2-run Atlanta blast. Just like that, Atlanta has entered the ball game here. Started their scoring up and trimmed that Rocky lead down to 4 in a matter of just a couple of hits. 3-0 for Ozzie Albies. That's a 4-pitch walk as Barreto maybe starting to lose some confidence after he was excellent through really 2 2/3. Orkelson lifts it deep to center. Brian Doe will haul it in right up against the wall, showcasing that speed as the third is finally over. But Atlanta has entered the chat. Solis, he's down looking on a 90-mile-an-hour right on that inside edge. We're seeing a lot of these borderline calls for strikes here in the series. 1-0 for Brian Doe. This is going to get down for extra bases. Michael Harris corrals it out the wall, but it's a 2-out double for Brian Doe. That'll bring up Figueroa. He swings at the fastball, misses it. So no runs added to the Rocky lead here in the third. 1 out, Barreto going off against Royce Lewis, who gets one down the right field line. Easily in for the double. Atlanta trying to chew into this lead just a little bit more. Now with 2 outs, Herrera giving chase and catches it at the wall. Atlanta unable to do anything with the double. So the score will remain as we head bottom 4. Kyle Brown! He's done it again! His second home run of the game was only a couple feet away from a home run. His last plate appearance. This man is on fire, as is this Rocky offense, man. What is going on here in Colorado? I think our boys are amped up to play at home. 2 for 2 for Herrera. Make that 3 straight hits for both players on the top of our lineup. Murillo got a home run for the Rockies as well. A 2-run blast puts it in double digits already, and we're not even halfway through this ball game. Everybody having some fun here in Colorado, especially this top of the lineup. They are killing it in Game 3. The Rockies retake the 7-run lead they had after 2. Rafael Murillo. I will say he wasn't great in the NLDS, but I think he's turning things up here against the Braves, which is where we really need him. That Sterling Thompson strikeout there ends the 4th for the Rockies. But Kyle Brown and Rafael Murillo adding back on to the Colorado lead. Already 12 hits and 10 runs for the hometown squad. Michael Harris as the top of the order back up for the Braves in the 5th. And it's clear that whatever Jose Barreto had confidence-wise early on in this game is now gone. Seems like these Braves have gotten a hold of him here. And with 4 runs here, I definitely think we should have taken him out, allowing back-to-back hits here to lead off the 5th. I mean, even on pitches outside the zone, the Braves are getting on base. His control, his confidence, just not what they were. Ronald Acuna homered his last time out and homers again for the Braves. Joins Kyle Brown in players who have homered twice here in this game. And even with the offensive explosion of the Rockies, the Braves are in this almost single-handedly with the play of Acuna with his back-to-back home runs, bringing home a lot of Atlanta runs. But Jose Barreto remains in the game. I mean, I know we have a big lead. I don't think that should keep somebody in the game when he's clearly struggling, as evidenced by this Spencer Torkelson home run that puts 7 Atlanta runs on the board, 476 feet. This Braves lineup has Barreto figured out here today. What's worse is that he was having an incredible start through the first 2 innings. But everything fell apart after kind of the midway point of that 3rd inning. And it hasn't been getting any better since. Was hoping for that 3rd to be a little bit of a blip in an otherwise strong start. Once it started going downhill, it just did not let up. So Barreto is relieved here for Phil Gorzelski. At the top of the episode, I made my bullpen order in an effort to get Phil Gorzelski some run here. So that has worked for us. Off the glove of Omar Figueroa, Gorzelski covers the bag for the second out here of the 5th. Royce Lewis pops one up in the shallow right field, and Kyle Brown has a good read on it. He gets back-to-back outs. Rocky offense back up. It's a full count for Ethan Salas, and he will get a free walk on over to first base. Ryan Doe cracks one right back up the middle on that 0-1 pitch. 2 on and no outs. Rockies offense looking to respond to that big inning from the Braves. Omar Figueroa with a hit. Brandon Marsh will throw home. And Salas will hold a 3rd, so it's a full count for Kyle Brown, who's been a lead in this game. Looking to pick up a sacrifice fly there, and it works out for us. No guarantee with Acuna out in right field, but it works out for us there. Clemente Herrera, this is going to be a tag him out, throw him out, double play for the Braves. Out of the inning, we had bases juiced and no outs, can only come away with 1 run. With 11 runs, you might not think that that would come back to haunt you, but with how good the Atlanta Braves offense has been these last few innings, there's no guarantee, and you can't make mistakes like that from Rafael Murillo. He'll be charged with an error here. Was hit decently hard, so it wasn't the easiest play, but certainly one that you expect Murillo to make. Once again, though, for us, even though it almost never happens, we don't have to pay for our error. Zach Veen gets one over the middle and hits it out to left field. Marsh corrals it, and it's a 2-out double for Zach Veen. And Thompson bring home his teammate, and that's going to be a big NO. Another scoreless inning for Colorado. Scoring has definitely settled down a little bit. Certainly not in a major way. And it's hard to keep up the pace they had in the first couple of innings for sure. Gorzelski been on a heater ever since he joined. He is still yet to allow his first run here in the postseason. Only had, a third of an inning pitch before this game, but he has proven that he needs a bigger role here in the postseason going forward. He's pitching excellently. Salas swinging at a bit of an ugly pitch there from A.J. Smith-Shawver. 2 gone. Figueroa to the plate. Can't sneak past Torkelson there. And now it's Jimmy Blanco up to the mound here. So I wanted Jimmy Blanco and I wanted Gorzelski to get some run here. They had a third of an inning pitch combined between them before this game. Looks like my strategy paid off. We'll see Jimmy Blanco for the first time going against Matt Olson, and that is not an easy player to get your first major league at-bat against. He has been a major problem for the Rockies in this series and gets his 4th home run of the postseason right there. Maybe coach was right to keep him sidelined here in the postseason. Don't know if, Matt Olson's the best judge on if somebody has a home run problem, though. He can hit a homer off pretty much anyone. 1 out later, we got Sean Murphy. 0 for 3 today, but make that a second home run allowed for Blanco. 2 homers allowed in 3 at-bats. He might have a little bit of a home run problem. That might be what has kept him from being utilized by our manager so far here in the postseason. 469 feet. Nice. For Sean Murphy. Just blasted this one out of here. But at least we know. When he hadn't gotten a chance, we didn't know if Jimmy Blanco was going to be a good pitcher for us, and especially with how much our bullpen has been struggling. I wanted to give him a chance. Now we know that he might need a little bit more development before he's postseason ready. So Herb Reyes comes into the game, just 1 out for Blanco, 2 home runs. He gets a strikeout on his first at-bat here. 11-9 here. Another very high-scoring game in Coors Field. Been a bit of a theme here in the postseason. Michael Harris gets that one, a drop in shallow left field. 2-out single here. He steals second successfully, bringing up Brandon Marsh, who lines out to Zach Veen. And we head to the bottom of the 8th now. A 2-run lead somehow for the Rockies. Feels like it should be much better with how this game started, but the Braves are clawing their way back in bit by bit. Clemente Herrera gets hit number 4 on the day. I mean, you have to imagine at some point this man slows down, but he just hasn't yet. Every single game feels like it's going to be 3 hits or more in this case for Herrera. Murillo strikes out behind him, making it 2 gone here in the bottom of the 8th. Neil Dorsey can't check the swing. Back-to-back strikeouts. And we head to the top of the ninth. Acuna, Albies, and Torkelson up. Not an easy trio to retire, but it is closing time for Tony Santillan. Can he wrap up a Game 3 victory for the Rockies, giving them the 2-1 series lead? In the postseason, has got a save in 3 of 4 opportunities here. Hasn't been perfect. It's been good enough here. He retires Acuna. Albies hitless today. Lifts this one to right field. Herrera tracking it down and hauls it in. 2 up, 2 down. Just 1 more out. And we're out of this ball game. Torkelson, pitch low in the zone, gets through the infield. And that's going to put the tying run at the plate for the Braves, and it's Matt Olson, the man who's been hitting home runs left and right in this series. I honestly don't even mind the walk there. Unfortunately for us, though, the man hitting behind Olson is the pinch run for Olson here. The man hitting behind him is Royce Lewis. Not an easy out either. We're 19 pitches in here for Santillan. Not been an easy close. Go ahead run at the plate for Atlanta. All we've needed is 1 out here for the last few batters. Haven't been able to get it. Lewis 1 hit today. Santillan falling behind in the count here, 2-0. Pitch. Lifted deep to the outfield. That looks like it's going to get down for a hit, and it will. Brian Doe with the throw home. Or throw to the cutoff man at least. And the Braves score 2. How do we blow this lead? We had 2 outs, no one on base. And Santillan allows 3 straight to walk. 2 of them cross home plates. Now we're just looking to keep this one tied, heading into the bottom of the 9th. Lozano comes in, gets the outs. And the bullpen once again struggling in this game. Now, Jose Barreto wasn't great either, to be fair, but we got a really good bullpen outing in Game 2. Probably unrealistic to expect 2 straight good bullpen games here, but now the offense has a chance to walk things off here. Do not want to head to extras if we can help it. Braves have Hader and Hackenberg in the bullpen warming up. 1 swing could end this game. Zach Veen, a hit in this game. 1-0 pitch is crushed! Zach Veen ends the game! The Rockies win! And another shootout thriller that comes down to the final at-bats. Zach Veen with a huge playoff moment for our Colorado Rockies. And the Rockies take the series lead in the NLCS. What an awesome game. Should not have been close. Should not have been close. We let the Braves all the way back in, but ultimately, as they have so many times in the postseason already, this offense comes through when the pressure is on, which is very exciting to see for such a young team. What A roller coaster of emotions down the stretch in this game. We've had some playoff classics in this run, but no time to soak in this victory. We're headed right to game 4. Once again, of course, in Coors Field. This time, going to be battling the elements. A little bit of rain here in this game. Could that maybe dampen the offense a little bit? Hopefully. I don't know if I could take that much offense again for a second consecutive game. The Rockies lead 2-1. A game here gives them a really nice inside track to finish off this series. We've got Devin Smeltzer on the mound. Don't be fooled by his 75 overall. This guy has been an excellent pitcher for us ever since we took him in the Rule 5 draft. He'll be going off against Cabrera on the other side. Murillo gathers himself, makes the throw to first, but Harris with the speed beats the throw, so the leadoff man reaches for Atlanta. Harris, a very dangerous stealing threat, gets second there. Now he's going for third. Ethan Salas, the throw too high. And Harris already 2 stolen bases in the game. Acuna trying to drive him in here. It's a full count pitch. Hit right at Murillo. That will retire Acuna, but Atlanta scores their first run. Tough for Smeltzer. Only, allowed a single, and that's all he allowed here in the first, but still going to be an Atlanta run due to the dangerous speed on the base pass. Something that this team really doesn't have is somebody that can do that. Skill set I've been trying to get for this team for a while now. So far, hasn't really hurt our offense, though, in the postseason. I think we're doing all right without that speed here. This throw is going to bring Torkelson off first base. It would not count as an error, though. Herrera will be credited with a hit. It's the 5th already of the episode. There he gets caught stealing, though. Not quite the steal threat that Michael Harris is. So, there'll be a quiet inning for the Rockies offense in the end. Second inning now. Torkelson gets a big hold of that Smeltzer pitch. One of the few guys in this Braves lineup actually better suited to hit against lefties, and he takes advantage of it there. 101 miles an hour off the bats. Well over 400 feet. Yeah, I knew this Braves offense coming to Coors Field was going to be dangerous, and they certainly have been so far. Stevenson. This one gets down fair, deep in left field. That'll be an easy extra base hit for him. The first time we've actually seen him in this series and in the entire playoffs. Pitch for them when they face a lefty. Olsen. Good thing about Smeltzer starting is he's not quite as dangerous against lefties. Ignacio Alvarez lifts it to V. 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Dorsey down swinging. Cabrera looking good early for Atlanta. 0-2 pitch here, and it's by Zach V. For his second strikeout. 0-2 count again, and he strikes out the side. Almost had himself an immaculate inning there as well. Ethan Salas. The throw to first, and Smeltzer gets a strikeout there. Harris swinging in the dirt. 2 gone here for Ronald Acuna, and he grounds out to Murillo again. Couple of quiet innings both sides here. Can the Rockies offense start to pick things up? Ryan Doe. 4 straight strikeouts for Cabrera. Figueroa. This one goes deep to left field. Brandon Marsh giving chase, leaping for it, but he's not going to haul it in. The Rockies offense is aboard. The third home run of the postseason for Omar Figueroa. Not hitting for average, but he is making the most of his hits here in the postseason. Needed that one there. Cabrera had been tearing through our lineup pretty easily up until this point. Very high arcing home run there from our first baseman, hitting in the 9 spots. Top of the order back up. 0-2, and Kyle Brown strikes out. Leading off for the Braves in the 4th is Ozzie Albies, and he crushes this Smeltzer pitch, and the Braves get that 1 run right back immediately. Albies' 3rd home run of the postseason. Pretty sure all of them have come against us. And we continue to struggle allowing home runs. Been a big problem in this series against Atlanta and continues to haunt us here. Nice strikeout there for Smeltzer. 2-2 pitch for Olsen. 2 outs in the inning. Grounder here to Kyle Brown. And it'll be just the 1 Atlanta run. Not been a terrible start so far for Smeltzer. Just 2 home runs. Not looking great, especially with our offense struggling so much. To get a read on Edward Cabrera, he's striking us out at a really good rate, considering he had no strikeouts in the first inning. That's 6 strikeouts in innings 2 through 4. Royce Lewis gets a base hit through that left field infield gap. 0-2 now for Alvarez, and it's him swinging at an ugly pitch. 2-1. That'll be a 3-6-3 double play. Always got to see these double plays again, especially ones that end the inning. Nice play by Figueroa to get the throw and then hustle back over to the base. 5 hits, 3 runs for Atlanta. Still just 2 hits on the board for our Rockies as Bean makes it 7 strikeouts for Cabrera. Hasn't been often here in the postseason that a pitcher has seemingly stumped our offense, but Cabrera doing so here. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings, just 2 hits allowed. Herb Reyes comes in to relieve Smeltzer here. Just can't seem to get away from our manager using Herb Reyes every game. To be fair, he's had a couple of good moments, but for the most part, he's struggled there. His low hits per 9 rating has come through in the postseason, and it comes through here. Now allowing the walk. It's 2 straight on base for Atlanta. Albies up next. Pitch over the middle. Cranks it deep to center field. Doe scaling the wall, but he can't haul it in. Oh, that would have been a sick robbery there. But instead, it's back-to-back Ozzie Albies home runs in the game. The Braves take a 6-1 lead. And with how well Cabrera is pitching, I don't know if we can overcome that difference. Now, this team has always found a way in the previous games to make things close. But, man, Cabrera is pitching well. We can't seem to pitch well on our side. Jimmy Blanco getting a second chance in this game. Allowed 2 home runs and 3 at-bats in his first postseason appearance. And make it 3 home runs in 4 at-bats. Yeah, I think we might need to bury Jimmy Blanco somewhere deep in the bullpen where he waits till next season to make his next appearance. I mean, very excited for Blanco's future. Just maybe not ready yet. Another well-hit ball. Tyler Stevenson was one of the guys that's homered so far in this one for Atlanta. But Brian Doe does get the out there. Matt Olson will reach. He homered off of Blanco last game. Lewis strikes out swinging, and he does throw a mean fastball. One of the reasons I'm excited about Blanco and his future. 2 gone here. Sterling Thompson gets the force out at second. A better showing for Blanco for sure this time. Did allow the leadoff home run, but was solid after that. So he crushes this one. Finally some life out of the Rockies offense. The second solo homer of this game. The third postseason home run for Brian Doe. All of 5'7", he still packs a mighty punch in his bat. Has been able to show it off in the postseason. Hasn't been, I feel like, as good in this series against the Braves as he was against the Cardinals. But able to get a big moment there for us. Can that spark a little something in our offense? Figueroa. That'll get down for a hit right in front of the glove of Brandon Marsh. Top of the order, Kyle Brown gets this past the glove of Torkelson. Runner should advance to third here, and he will. Runners on the corners. No one gone. Offense has come alive. Clemente Herrera. He gets it past the glove of first base again. And that brings home another Rocky run. Might even bring home a fourth. The throw to home, and Kyle Brown slides in safely. A 2-run double for Clemente. Clutch Herrera. Shout out to the comments section of the last episode giving Clemente his nickname, and boy has he earned it in this postseason run. Murillo down swinging there for the first out. 9th strikeout of the game for Cabrera. Atlanta choosing to stick with him despite cracking just a little bit here in the 6th. But Herrera cuts the lead in half. Jeff Ramirez will come out and pitch for Colorado in the 7th. And it just really doesn't matter who we have on the mound today. Atlanta's hitting some dingers. That's just the truth of it. Another one over 450 feet for the Braves. And they're not hitting a lot of home runs going barely over the wall. A lot of these are crushed by this team. Acuna, one of the few hitless guys for Atlanta today. But no longer. Back-to-back Atlanta deep balls here. And the lead is back to 5 runs. 4th homer of the postseason for Acuna. I'm pretty sure all of those are against us as well. Olsen, Albies, Acuna, and even Torkelson. Brandon Marsh. I mean, I could go on and on. We're getting crushed by pretty much this entire lineup. For the most part. The Braves, in each of these 2 games, are doing an excellent job of converting their hits into runs. Mostly because most of their hits are home runs. Ground out there for Ethan Salas and a good play from Alvarez. And that's why they've chosen to play him over a guy like Austin Riley. You want to have some good defensive players out on the field, and with those swinging at the slider, Rockies offense unable to respond to the 2-run inning from the Braves. Lozano comes in the 8th and actually has a good inning. The only guy capable of doing so in the bullpen today, it seems. Automates. Time running out for this Rockies offense to respond, and Kyle Brown can't quite get another homer for the episode. Herrera, beautiful pitch to hit there, but can't find the gap with it. It's another scoreless inning for the Rockies. Rich Walsh comes in. Gets 2 outs, but allows Brandon Marsh to reach here. That'll be a 2-out double. Braves trying to tack on an extra run or 2 of insurance. Cunha lifts this one to the outfield. Zach Veen, though, able to track it down. And the Rockies have to come up with 5 runs here in the 9th. Now, we do have Murillo, Dorsey, and Veen up to the bat. No one else I'd rather have. Maybe I'd like to have Herrera as our leadoff guy for the inning. Murillo, though, starts us off with a single. Got to start somewhere. And we get our leadoff man on base. Dorsey hitless. Gets a pitch right over the middle. Cranks it to right center field. Gets back to the wall. Harris throws it in. And Murillo slides home safely. The Rockies get 2 straight runners to reach. And Dorsey drives in a run. Can we get a massive 9th inning rally going here? Zach Veen jammed up inside. Pops it up to Royce Lewis. That's one gone. Sterling Thompson. Been a while since he's had a big moment for us. He also pops one up. And we're down to 1 out in the game. Every game of the postseason so far for us has come down to the last at-bat. The last at-bats could have either tied or taken the lead. But we're in danger of having kind of the first game of the postseason where there was a clear winner all throughout. It comes down to Ethan Salas. Can he keep our hopes alive? Hitless today. Going against Spencer Schwellenbach. Awesome name. 1-1. Salas takes the changeup inside for strike 2. Swings at the pitch high in the zone. Torkelson in foul territory, hauls it in, and the Braves are victorious. This felt like the first time in these 4 games where it did feel like we were a little bit outmatched. We hung with this team and of course even won 2 of the 3 games to start. But it felt like in this game you could tell the difference in talent here. So we were tied at the end of last episode. We'll remain tied here at the end of this one. We have 1 more game in Coors Field before we finish off the series in Atlanta. Neither side able to carve out an advantage here. All tied up through 4. This series is going to come down to the nitty-gritty, and I love it. Can't wait to continue this series on, and I'll see you then. Go Rockies.